all right, Dan Campbell has had enough, and you don't see him in this state too often where he's just agitated, and it's three things. First of all, just generally the game last week, but then the Brian Branch situation, he comes right out, just a little annoyed by that. We all understand it, but it's just like, that was number one that kind of gets him upset. Then the second thing is, and he's doubled down on this, and I love seeing it, is that he says that the call against, the Jared Goff trick play, that came from New York. And this is where he could easily say, let's move on. I don't want to talk about it. That's kind of what he does in the past. This time around, he goes for it again. So he talks about it post-game. Then he has an interview this week, and he talks about it again. He said, it doesn't matter if I agree or disagree. I know it came from New York. The problem with this, and this is why, and I won't spend a lot of time on this. We've talked about it. We've got some more news here. But the problem with this is that this is what, as Lions fans, it's the rule. The rule is the rule, and I don't think we don't have a problem with that as much as the way that it was that, a minute and a half goes by or however much time goes by, and then you throw the flag and this discussion, and it can't be reviewed. It's, if you miss the call, you miss the call. There's a lot of calls that were missed, a lot of calls that it's just part of the game, but this just like huddle up thing is brutal. So Dan Campbell, it came from New York. This is a clear violation of the rules. And so that is there's nothing that should be able to help with a penalty involvement. While it's a scoring play, which are subject to Hub's review, the aspect of the play was allegedly reviewed and is not under the list of eligible rulings. So Dan Campbell, yeah, we asked, we've talked to now the NFL this week about it, so he's upset about that. Another thing, Kirby Joseph. Asked about him. He said, you have to weigh every one of those when he's talking about injuries and who's going to play. So we'll do that with Kirby. We'll reassess here. We saw the game the other day, tried to play through it most of the game, and it wasn't his best performance. And he'll tell you that. He's giving us what he had, but we'll reassess. So it's enough like, no, we're not. We've got guys out there that are kind of injured, and we're just maybe not going to do that. Then the next thing where he's just fired up is that he, let me see. He talks about getting Aleem McNeil back, and he's talking about like, hey, he'll freaking be out there, okay? Barring anything crazy, that dude's back. And there's just this edge to Dan Campbell that we absolutely need, because I don't know if you feel it. I think you do. We had this edge for 2.5 years. Trying to win, couldn't win, fighting for our lives, finding some wins. Then we're on a streak. We're this young, hungry team. It's like, what? We're winning. Like, it was so fun. Such a wild ride to the top. And it's like, now what? Now what do we do? And so remember, the Lions haven't lost back-to-back games in 2 years, 3 years, maybe 2.5 years. Haven't lost back-to-back games in 2.5 years. That's just so incredible. They have a chance now, so Tampa Bay comes to town. So you've got this kind of agitated, ready to go, chip on his shoulder, Dan Campbell, that we absolutely need. Where do you find that? Where do you find that edge? That's what Dan Campbell is so good at doing. So you've noticed him this week. He just knows when to push and to pull, right? So he knows like, all right, we just need to calm down. We're fine. And then he knows, I got to get these guys going a little bit. So he's kind of calling out Kirby Joseph a little bit. He's pumping up Aleem McNeil. Brian Branch, like, what are you doing? I don't think, it's like it's proven now. Dan Campbell is an incredible coach. We're lucky to have him and can't wait to see what happens this week. Now, good news is the Buccaneers, we'll keep an eye on this, but already in week 7, the Bucs are likely down wide receivers, or going to be limited with Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Emeka Egbuka. So we don't have a secondary. They don't have receivers. Love that. But that's something that we got to keep an eye on. The other thing that is just clear now, and let me know your thoughts on Baker Mayfield, but I mean, you could talk the whole video on him. He's so interesting. He's been in the league 8 years now. They're 5-1. Baker Mayfield now just continues to be a really good quarterback. When everybody wrote him off, wanted to write him off, just pictured him as just like a solid starter in the league. That's cool. But he's never going to win consistently. He's never going to go to the playoffs. He's never going to take you anywhere, anything like that. Well, that's not the case. He's really good. And up until this point, probably the best quarterback that we faced. And now the Lions have done well against him, but man, he does. He sits back there, hits a big first down, hits a long throw, runs for it, moves in the pocket. I mean, he can do a lot of things that just makes you uncomfortable as a defense. So I like, the best way to say it is like, I would rather have big plays and good plays go against me from Baker Mayfield than Patrick Mahomes. Last week was brutal. It's as bad as it gets. When you are on the opposing side of playing Patrick Mahomes in prime time, it's the worst. The announcers just can't stop talking about him. So you're trying to like, what do you want to mute them. That's the hard part about it, right? It's like, how do I mute the announcers, but then I still want the crowd energy and stuff like that. So just having the game off, can't do it. Let me know if there's any tips that you have. What's a way, and I guess you could sync up the radio broadcast, but the problem with that, I don't know about you guys, but I'm constantly kind of like fast forwarding the game. Let me know in the comments. Asked this the other day. Do you watch the game live? Like, you got to be live right with it, or do you start it later? Kind of you're behind it and you're kind of fast forwarding through the commercials, halftime, all that stuff. Oh my gosh, it's brutal. All the stuff, because it's an hour game, 20 minutes of actual action, right? But it's like, fine, hour game, clock's ticking, you got, like, hour is we all understand that. But the game's 3.5 hours long. So that means, 2.5 hours of just nothing? Yeah, that's right. So let me know in the comments if you're a fast forwarder, watch it live. Because it's so hard. Here's why I like to be behind, is when the other team scores, when the other team scores to when you get the ball on the kickoff. Or no, not even on the kickoff, just to start your possession. That could be 10 minutes. You score, they show a replay, another replay. Meanwhile, they're confirming it. Yep, it is good. Kick the field goal. Another replay of that scoring play against you. Commercial, kickoff, commercial, come back, replay of that score again. Okay, now off you go. It's like, I can't. Let me get through this. So, yeah, where I was going with that, it's like the worst. So Baker Mayfield, I don't hate him. I think a lot of people did at one point, and now it's just like, man, this he's fine. He's absolutely fine. But here's what we get. We get Aleem McNeil back. That would be really great. Hutchinson, I think Aleem McNeil is perfect because I think our two defensive tackles, as we have them right now with Williams and DJ Reed, is okay. But you add a third guy in that's really good, and now they can rotate and move up. Then it's like, man, those guys really enhance. So I think it's going to be all good. Keep an eye on the injuries throughout the week. That's going to kind of be the story. It's two even teams. Monday Night Football, like, you can't, like, here we go. But let's just see who's out there and what's going on. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see all of you on the next one.